Welcome back to the Everygirl podcast. I have a solo episode for you guys today. I wanted to share some of the life hacks that have made the biggest difference for me personally. What I like to think are the greatest life hacks of all time. Last year, I was really inspired by an opinion piece in the New York Times titled The Greatest Life Hacks in the World for Now. And I loved this article, but I was like, you know what? I think I actually have more life hacks that have made a bigger difference for me. So I wrote an article on the Everygirl with 30 life hacks, and I wanted to dive into some of those today, share some more advice, give some more life hacks. Let's dive into what I consider to be the 10 greatest life hacks of all time. Life hack number one: happiness is a skill, not a circumstance. You have to practice it, you don't wait for it. How many times have you had the thought of, I'll be happy when dot, dot, dot. I've thought that many times throughout my life. I'll be happy when I get this promotion. I'll finally be happy when I move into a bigger apartment or when I move to LA. Maybe you'll think, I'll be happy when I get into a relationship, when we get married, when I lose 20 pounds. We are conditioned to think that happiness is this destination that we achieve based on these external circumstances. But psychologically speaking, that's not how it works. Happiness is actually a skill. Okay. It won't just happen because you lose weight or you get in a relationship or you get the promotion. You might experience temporary excitement that feels like happiness, but it won't actually be lasting happiness because you haven't practiced or worked the skill. Now I think of being happy as something that requires practice. And when everything is peachy, when you just got the promotion, when you're in a relationship that makes you happy, it's easy to practice happiness, right? But any skill gets developed more when the conditions are hard. So think of doing a bicep curl. You can do a bicep curl with a 3 pound weight. That's like when you're practicing happiness when things are going easy. So, like when things are going really great for you, you're doing a 3 pound weight. Like you're focusing on gratitude, you're working on your mindset, you're seeking out joy, like all those important practices of happiness. You're doing that when things are going pretty well in your life. That's like working a 3 pound weight. But when things are not as peachy, when you're in a job that you don't like, when you're stressed about money, when you don't feel good about your body, whatever the circumstance that has you thinking, I will be happy when, that's actually the most important time to practice happiness because that's like doing a bicep curl with a 20 pound weight. You're working your happiness muscle even more. So you're getting stronger than reps with the 3 pound weight. So now I see these moments when I traditionally thought, I'm not going to be happy right now. I have to wait until this happens or this changes to be happy. But now I see these as opportunities to practice happiness instead of falling into that trap. You have to actively practice happiness because it's a skill. So practice it in the times where you're tempted to say, I'm not happy right now. I have to wait until this thing happens or this thing changes in order to be happy. That's when your little mind switches now and says, no, this is the exact time I need to practice happiness. Life hack number two: think of time as a commodity to invest rather than spend. I feel like we really only talk about time in terms of spending. Like, I just spent the last few hours working on a presentation, or I'm spending my Saturday night with my friends. I used to always feel like I never had enough time. Like, I always had work or items on the to do list that I never got done. Time always used to be a stressor for me. Now, the way that I'm using my time is not much different. I actually have more things on my plate than ever, but the way that I think about time is so different that it's helped with my stress and it's also helped a lot with time management. So now I think of time as something to be invested instead of something to be spent. Investing means committing something in order to get a return. So when we're spending money, we'll never see that money again, right? When we invest money, it's to get a return in the future. You're getting back a greater sum than what you initially invested. So instead of thinking like, I just spent 2 hours hanging out with friends, which means I'll never get that time back, time is limited, I just lost 2 hours. I think instead that I invested 2 hours into hanging out with friends because my joy, my energy that I received from those 2 hours was a worthwhile investment so that I get more out of my life. Maybe I'll have more energy tomorrow because I'm feeling so stress free and happy after a good girls' night that I get more done in less time. I also am very careful of limiting wherever my time doesn't feel like an investment. For example, scrolling on social media, aimlessly scrolling. It feels like more of a spend to me. It's not an investment of my time. And ideally, I want the way that I'm using all of my time to feel like an investment in my best, happiest, fullest life. So I'm trying to limit as much as possible. I definitely still get stuck in the rabbit hole, but I'm just trying to be mindful and limit where I feel like I'm only spending my time and it's not an investment. Life hack number 3, view jealousy as a mirror to what you're meant to have, not what you don't have. The feeling of jealousy is so low vibe, right? And what feels so bad about it is because it's coming from this lack mindset of what we don't have, what we're lacking. We see someone with a really successful career and a lot of money, and we feel jealous because we don't have that successful career and that money. Maybe we feel jealous of our friend who's in a really happy relationship or the influencer who's a size 2. Jealousy is just such a shitty feeling because we only see it as a reminder of what we don't have. But what if I told you that jealousy is actually a mirror into what you're meant for? Are you jealous, for example, of the person on social media who has like a really close, amazing, close friend group? That's because you're meant to have a close friend group. How much better does that feel than feeling like I'm jealous because that's something I don't have? Instead, it's like, oh, that little feeling of jealousy is because that's what I'm meant to have. That's what I will have. To me, this just makes a lot of sense because we're not just like willy nilly jealous of people who objectively have just like better lives than us. I'm not jealous of an influencer with 10 million followers or a super successful CEO, but I am jealous of the top podcasters who are like number one on Spotify and Apple and get to connect with millions of women. I'm jealous of that because that's the right direction of where I want my life to go. That feels true for me. And seeing other women do that is not proof that I don't have that. It's actually proof that I can do that too. So, your friend being in a super happy relationship is not taking away from your ability to be in a super happy relationship. It's actually proof that it's possible for you to be in a super happy relationship. That's what you're really meant for. That's what you really want out of your life. So, view jealousy as a mirror into what you're meant for, not as what you're lacking. Life hack number 4. Oh, wait, let me fix my hair a little bit. My hair's been looking dull. I know I should have done something a little cuter before I started recording, but here we are. Okay. You will eliminate 90% of stress in your life thanks to this life hack. Life hack number 4, if something is making you stressed or unhappy, change the circumstance. And if you cannot change the circumstance, change the mindset. So, this one really comes because I think that we're not always programmed to feel like we are in control of our lives. So, to me, realizing that we actually are and practicing that we are is so empowering. And that's really the root of this life hack. What this means is that every time something is causing you stress or making you unhappy, get in the habit of asking yourself how you can get rid of that stressor. Can you actually just say no to drinks with that toxic friend that doesn't make you feel good? Maybe you think about it in the bigger picture. Is your job causing you more stress or making you unhappy? Maybe it's time to look for a different career. If it's a circumstance that you can't change, like you can't get a new job right now because you need the money or you're feeling insecure about your body ahead of a beach trip this weekend, that doesn't mean don't go to the beach. That means change the mindset. You know the saying that stress will kill you before the stressor does? Typically, the suffering we put on ourselves is far worse than the actual stressor itself. So, can you change your mindset? When you feel overwhelmed with a full inbox, can you remind yourself how lucky you are to be doing something that's fulfilling or to be making money so that you can support yourself? Can you tell yourself that no one else is going to give two shits about how you look in your bathing suit because that's true? Bottom line, you are actually way more in control of your life than you think that you are. You can change the circumstance a lot more than I think that we realize we can. And when we can't change the circumstance, we can change our mindset. Life hack number 5, Curate your social media feeds to reflect your goals. So, our social media feeds are typically an intentionless stream of random moments in a time throughout our life, right? It's like our college roommates, cousins' wedding pictures, that one friend who posts about their food a lot, the blogger who we followed because they like their style. But if we're being honest with ourselves, just seeing their content actually makes us feel bad about our bodies. At best, social media feeds are mindless scrolls. They're kind of a little bit of a waste of time. At worst, and most commonly, they make us feel bad. They make us feel worse than when we clicked open the app. It's like we'll never be pretty enough. We'll never be cool enough. We'll never be successful enough when we're constantly comparing our lives to an endless highlight reel. We already know this, right? You can unfollow or mute any account that is not serving you. In fact, I recommend making it a habit. When any photo, TikTok, reel, story comes up, take a second to reflect on the account or the person behind it and ask yourself if consuming that content is helping you feel happier or getting you closer to your life goals. And if it's not, unfollow or mute. Also, view your feeds as a reflection of your goals or what should be a reflection of your goals. So, whether you want to be healthier, happier, more confident, be more successful, search for people and accounts that light you up, that make you feel inspired rather than drained, that are proof that you can accomplish what you want out of your life. That could look like the fashion blogger who has a similar body type to you. That could be the meme account that actually makes you happier and like makes you laugh so that you feel better when you leave the app than when you came on it. Maybe it's even like the influencer who offers like really helpful DIYs that you actually want to do and like make your life a lot better. Whatever it is, make your social media work for you instead of against you, and just watch how the rest of your life changes in response. Life hack number 6. Replace I don't have time for with it is not my priority to. The truth is that we all have the exact same amount of time. You have as many hours in a day as Beyonce. Actually, scratch that. You have as many hours in a day as Kelsey from Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I don't personally know how she does it all, being a nurse, being the captain of the cheer squad. I don't understand how she spends her time. I don't get it, but I digress. The point is that we all have the exact same amount of time. Time is never actually the issue. It is how we prioritize that time that dictates what we do and don't get done. I think that not being honest with ourselves about this is often what holds us back and prevents change because we keep thinking we're victim of our own time. So, for example, when you find yourself saying, I don't have time to work out today, stop and change it to, it is not my priority to work out today. That is totally fine. There are many days where a workout is not my priority, and work or stress relief or setting up my week for success is much more my priority. But it's just about being honest with yourself. If that doesn't feel true to you, like if you find yourself saying, I don't have time to take care of myself, and then that switches to, it is not my priority to take care of myself, and that doesn't feel true or right for you, that doesn't feel aligned with your values or what you actually want out of your life, then that means your priorities are out of order and you need to make some changes. I think that this switch, just this different wording, will help you realize you are so much less a victim of your time than we often think that we are, and actually help you make changes towards the life that you want to have. Life hack number 7. Assume that what you think of someone else is what they think of you. I'm not kidding. I first heard this life hack when I think it was Demi Lovato in like J14 or Tiger Beat magazine when she was promoting Camp Rock 2. They asked her for a confidence tip, and 12-year-old me was like, damn, that's profound. It obviously really stuck with me. This tip has helped me in those moments where you really want someone to like you. Maybe you're networking or you're meeting a potential new friend you think is so cool, or this can apply to dating as well. It's so easy to get in your head in those instances and be like, oh my gosh, am I being awkward? Do they think I'm funny? Do they think I'm smart? Oh my gosh, I'm not as cool as they are. I'm being so lame. It's so easy to get in our heads. So, my tip is to just start assuming that the way that you feel about someone is the way that they feel about you. If you meet someone who is so fun and so cool and so nice, and you really want to be their friend, envision that they're thinking about you, that you're so fun and you're so cool and you're so nice. and they're hoping that you want to be their friend. When I'm interviewing someone for the podcast and super nervous, I just picture them being super excited and nervous to talk to me, which is definitely not reality. But for some reason, that has helped me be so much more confident when I'm meeting new people or in interviews, making friends, even in the past when I'm dating. Like it clicks so much more than just be confident in yourself. And then it's also kind of a reminder of like if you think someone's boring or like not very fun or you don't really like them and you kind of apply the same thing, it doesn't really matter because if you don't like them, does it really matter if they like you? No. For some reason, this little mindset shift really helps me feel so much more confident. Life hack number 8. This is a fun one. Make your passwords your favorite affirmations. So just think about how many times in a day you have to log on to your email or you got to log into Instagram or you're checking your credit card app. Imagine if every time you had to log on to something, you did an instant mini little meditation. I'm not going to tell you the affirmations that I use for my passwords, obviously, but I will give you some other examples and you can pick any of these that resonate with you that you feel like just hearing it feels that instant little mood boost. Okay, here's some options. All is well. I am safe. I am grateful. I'm a lucky girl. I'm a lucky bitch. I'm at peace. I'm a badass. I'm amazing. Why not? Imagine typing those phrases out and having that little reminder and mood boost every single time you log on to something. So, this is going to program that belief in your mind so fast and also serves as like a little mini meditation, little mini mood boost at random points throughout your day that you don't even need to think about. Doesn't that serve you so much more than typing out your first dog's name or your birthday over and over? This is such an easy, simple life hack that I do feel like makes a huge difference. Life hack number 9. When you feel insecure, get outside yourself. When I notice that I'm starting to focus on my body doesn't look good in this bathing suit, or should I really post this on social media? What will people think? Or this outfit is not cute. I don't even want to leave my house anymore. I take that as a sign that I need to just get outside myself. Okay. I force myself to have a come to Jesus moment. And I'm like, Josie, no one cares. We obviously are the main characters of our own lives, which we should be. We love the main character energy, but where it kind of teeters on not helpful and even damaging or harmful is when we forget that we're not the main characters in other people's lives. Like we think our friends are going to notice if we have a fat roll hanging out of our pants, or that friends from high school care enough to judge us for what we post on social media, or that strangers will notice if our outfit isn't that cute. In reality, everyone else is busy thinking about their own fat rolls or their own judgmental friends from high school or their own outfits that look so much better in their head than they do in real life. It sounds harsh to be like, get over yourself. No one cares about you. That's not what I mean. I don't mean it to be like this harsh tough lovey thing at all. What I actually mean is if your insecurity is impacting your actions or emotions, if you're not going to show up to the beach because of the way you look in a swimsuit, or if you don't want to start a side business because you're worried about being judged, or even if you spend time in the mirror focusing on your flaws, it's just a sign that you need to get outside yourself. Check in with your friends, how they're doing, and actually care. Like don't just say like, hey, checking in to check it off the list. Be like, how are you? Like, I know that you just broke up with your boyfriend 3 months ago. How are you really doing? Call your mom and ask about her day instead of complaining about yours all the time. Leave a barista a big tip or volunteer. I'm not suggesting this in the way that's like, get over yourself, stop being so full of yourself. I've said before, the number one thing that we should be is full of ourself. We should be so full of self that we prioritize our wants and needs before anything else in the world. I'm giving this advice because it will change your mind frame to erase your insecurities. When you are connected to and thoughtful of others, you will start realizing that no one cares. Again, not in a way that's like, no one cares, get over it, but in a way that's like, oh, actually, no one will even notice the fat roll. No one will actually even care what I post on social media. No one will even care that I'm wearing an outfit that I don't think is that cute. Your insecurities don't actually matter to other people. That's like so freeing. No one's thinking of you the way that you might worry that they are. So get outside yourself when you start feeling too focused on insecurities. Start thinking of other people and start using that empathy superpower as almost kind of like the counter to insecurities. Life hack number 10. Learn how to be really, truly nice. This is, in my opinion, the most powerful life hack, but it's the most overlooked. This might sound cliche to be like, be kind to one another, the golden rule. I get it, but I'm going to try to explain why this is not cliche and why I think that being nice is actually the secret to the entire universe. I recently heard an interview with the psychologist Dr. Robert Puff, who said that kindness is our superpower. And I completely agree. I've always said that empathy is the greatest superpower, but they're, one and the same. First of all, I do believe in my heart of hearts that the secret to getting anything that you want is to make people feel good about themselves and to feel good around you. When we're really, really kind, we are more likely to get what we want, whether it's like the small stuff, like a free pastry occasionally that has actually happened to me, or really good customer service at an airport that they're actually really helpful to you, to even the bigger things like, I believe this is how you become well liked. This is how you get really close friendships. This is how you get job opportunities and network and form meaningful connections, all because the way that you first interact with any human being, you know how to make them feel good around you. I believe also that like when you're really kind to your employees, they feel more motivated. People want to help you when you're kind. There are, of course, the caveats to this that I've had to learn myself, such as pushy men at bars, male Uber drivers who make you feel uncomfortable, or family members that don't respect your boundaries. In these specific instances, I want you to be as unkind as necessary. I think a lot of women need to hear this. Never sacrifice yourself, in many cases, your safety, to be polite to someone else. What I'm talking about here is being kind when your sanity or safety is not at stake. Okay. That's like a very important disclosure here. More importantly than getting people to want to help you, I think that being really, truly kind is not about how you act, but how you think. And that's the greatest life hack. That's the big piece of it all. When you're actively practicing kindness, that requires you to take a step outside of yourself. It requires you to go through life thinking about other people, which helps prevent you from experiencing negative emotions like the insecurities that I was just talking about, but also like stress, irritation, annoyance. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through an exercise. Imagine you're running late to work and you're getting in an Uber. If you're practicing kindness, if like kindness is a part of your habit, your ritual, your routine, you are actively thinking, I wonder how this Uber driver's day is going. How many assholes he probably gets on a daily basis that don't even acknowledge him. Maybe he's dealing with stressors that are bigger than running late to work. That's such a better and more powerful emotional state than feeling irritated and stressed during a whole 10-minute Uber ride and then you're getting annoyed because traffic isn't moving faster. Like, imagine how much differently you would show up to work after that Uber ride. You're in a high vibrational state of gratitude and connection rather than all stressed and annoyed. Road rage is another big one. I want to use this as an example. Most of it's experience road rage on a day to day basis. If you're my boyfriend, you experience it even more. And what an awful experience. Like, think about how much it's negatively affecting you to get so triggered because another car that's stuck in traffic, maybe late to work like you are, cut in front of you for a second or wasn't moving fast enough or whatever it is. Think of how triggered you're getting because of that small interaction. That emotion or anger you're feeling isn't affecting them. They're sitting in their car, living their life. I hope that they have their AC blasting, they're playing some playlists, maybe they have a little girly coffee. It's affecting you. That negative emotion is only affecting you. What stops you from getting into those low vibrational negative emotions is kindness. Kindness actively prevents you from getting into low vibe moments that most of the world experiences on a daily basis. And kindness is a tangible connection to other people, which is good for our physical health. It's key to our happiness. Like, it is just the secret to the universe. Okay. Trust me on this one. Learning how to be really, truly nice to people is the most powerful and the most overlooked life hack. If you learn how to do that, if you learn how to be really, truly nice, your life will be unrecognizable. Okay. Everyone likes to talk about the makeovers and walking 10,000 steps and like doing gua sha. And I love all those things. If you don't know how to be really, truly nice, your life will never look the way that you want it to look. That's my guarantee for you. Those are what I believe to be the 10 greatest life hacks of all time. I know implementing these 10 strategies will completely transform your life because they have completely transformed mine. If you like this episode, please, please, please leave us a review. Podcasting can often feel like a one-way street because I don't get to hear from you guys often. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just kind of speaking into the void, and I want this to be a two-way conversation. I want to make sure that what I'm creating is giving you value. So it would mean so much to me to hear from you, and also share what you want more of so I can bring you episodes that truly make a difference in your life. You can find us at the Everygirl podcast on Instagram. Come read some amazing articles from my team on theeverygirl.com, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.